You versus you, the real battle. Overcome your biggest obstacle. Have you ever felt challenged by a seemingly impossible task, like standing before a gigantic mountain with its peak hidden by clouds? What if I told you that this mountain represents something even deeper and more personal within you? Welcome to the most challenging journey of all, the battle against yourself. Welcome to the most challenging and transformative journey you can undertake, the battle of you versus yourself. Each of us faces daily battles, but the most formidable adversary is within us. It's not the external challenges, but the internal voices that tell us we're not good enough, that we can't achieve our dreams, that we should fear failure. Today, guided by the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy, we will uncover strategies to conquer this inner mountain. We will explore how emperors and philosophers used these teachings to face adversities not much different from those we face today. If you are ready to transform your mind, and by extension your life, this is the time and place. So I ask you, are you ready to face the greatest challenge of all and finally discover what it truly means to be the master of your own mind? And now we begin our ascent, facing the first and one of the most treacherous obstacles in this mountain that is our mind, the ego. Have you ever stopped to think about how your ego might be limiting your true potential? Today, we will explore the role of the ego in our lives and how we can effectively keep it in check to live more fully and satisfyingly. In this journey of self-knowledge, I will bring practical examples and personal stories to illustrate our points, keeping everything very close and tangible for you. Humility is a virtue that is often underestimated. However, it is one of the pillars to keep the ego in check. By adopting a humble stance, we open ourselves up to learning more from others, accepting that we don't know everything, and thus we grow. Have you ever had a moment when lowering your guard and accepting a suggestion or criticism revealed a new perspective you would never have considered on your own? These are golden opportunities for growth that the ego can rob us of if we are not vigilant. Criticism is often seen as an attack, but what if we saw it as a gift? A chance to improve our skills and correct our mistakes. When we set the ego aside and genuinely listen to what others have to say, we transform what could be a moment of tension into an opportunity for evolution. I invite you to think of a recent situation where a criticism made you feel defensive. How could it have been different if you had embraced that criticism with gratitude? Laughing at yourself is an art that not only relieves tension, but also puts things in perspective. Self-deprecating humor can be an incredible tool for balancing the ego. It helps us see that our mistakes or failures are not as devastating as they may seem. Have you noticed how charismatic and beloved leaders often use this type of humor? They show that they are accessible and human, just like any of us. So what can you do today to start taming your ego? First, practice humility. The next time you interact with someone, ask more questions than you make statements. Second, accept a criticism this week, no matter how small, and see what you can learn from it. And lastly, try to laugh at yourself at least once a day. This can change not only your perspective, but also how others see you. Controlling the ego is not about suppressing who we are, but about expanding our capacity to be who we truly can be. Every step we take towards self-control expands our horizons and improves our relationships. Let's go together on this journey of self-improvement and discover how high you can fly when you release the shackles of your ego. Overcoming procrastination. Have you ever found yourself looking at a pile of tasks, feeling an inexplicable weight and thinking, "I'll do this later"? We've all been there, haven't we? Procrastination may seem like a fleeting escape, but deep down we know it only accumulates more pressure. Today we're going to discover together how to turn that page and start a new, more productive chapter in our lives. Imagine breaking down your goals into small steps, so small that starting doesn't seem so daunting. Sounds easier, right? This is called task decomposition. Take a big project and break it into smaller parts. Each small step completed is a victory, an advance towards your final goal. And why not tackle the hardest part first? Known as eating the frog, this method suggests you tackle the most challenging tasks in the morning. Think with me. Once you've overcome the biggest obstacle, the rest of the day seems incredibly easier. How would you feel at lunch knowing that the hardest part is already done? Now let's talk about the 5-minute rule. Have you heard of it? It's simple. Commit to dedicating just 5 minutes to the task you're putting off. Just 5 minutes. It's very likely that once you start, you'll continue well beyond the initial time. Those 5 minutes can be the push you need to get moving. By applying these strategies, we are not just dealing with pending tasks. We are transforming our mindset. We are training our brain to understand that action generates energy, which generates more action. I ask you, what task are you going to break down into steps today? Which frog are you going to face tomorrow morning? I want to invite you to try the 5-minute rule right now. Choose a task and take that small step. Remember, every action you take builds a path to a less stressful and more fulfilling life. Together, we are learning not just to complete tasks, but to live more fully and presently. Let's embark on this journey of overcoming and personal growth, leaving procrastination behind. After discovering how to combat procrastination, the next step is to strengthen this new energy. How do we do this? By building unwavering discipline. Let's explore how small daily habits, mindfulness, and focusing on what we can control create the foundation for strong and lasting self-discipline. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the same logic applies to the development of self-discipline. It all starts with consistent small habits. Did you know that by incorporating small daily practices into your routine, you are paving the way for great achievements? Think of it as cultivating a garden. Each habit is like planting a seed that over time grows and blooms into something majestic. Now imagine integrating the practice of mindfulness into your daily life. By dedicating moments to being fully present, you strengthen your ability to focus on the here and now without distractions from the past or worries about the future. This not only improves your focus, but also helps maintain serenity in the face of challenges. And about the controllable elements, here's the key. Focus on what is within your reach to change. In a world where so many factors are beyond our control, focusing on the aspects we can influence is empowering. It teaches us to release tension over the uncontrollable and invest our energy where we can truly make a difference. By adopting these practices, you not only develop self-discipline, but also transform your relationship with time, challenges, and yourself. Every conscious step, every moment of presence, every decision to focus on the controllable is a brick in building an unshakable wall of discipline. So what small habit will you start implementing today? Which moment of your day will be dedicated to mindfulness? How can you readjust your focus to the elements that are under your control? Remember, the path to discipline is a series of conscious choices we make every day. We are together in this construction, and every small effort counts enormously in the grand scheme of our lives. With discipline strengthened, the next natural challenge is to maintain that sharp focus amidst a sea of interruptions. Let's now explore effective techniques to overcome distractions, ensuring that your newly developed self-discipline is not undermined by the environment around you. In a world where notification alerts are constant and interruptions seem endless, finding ways to maintain focus is crucial for efficiency and well-being. One of the most effective techniques is to create a distraction-free environment. This can mean organizing your workspace so that only the essentials are within reach, or setting up your phone and computer to minimize unnecessary notifications. The environment we work in directly influences our ability to maintain concentration. Ask yourself, what is around me that doesn't need to be here? How can I simplify my space to improve my focus? In addition, the practice of single tasking is another powerful tool. In a world that often values multitasking, the truth is that our mind works better when focused on one thing at a time. By dedicating yourself fully to a task, you not only improve the quality of your work, but also complete it faster. Reserve time blocks for specific tasks and see how your productivity increases when you really concentrate. These strategies are simple, but require constant commitment and awareness. By applying them, you will notice a significant improvement not only in your productivity, but also in your overall mental state. Reducing distractions is not just about finishing tasks, it's about regaining control over your time and energy. So what will be the first step for you to create a more focused environment? How can you implement single tasking in your daily routine? Remember, every small adjustment towards a more controlled environment and a more focused practice can lead to great improvements in your personal and professional life. Now that we have discussed how to create a focused environment and practice single tasking to overcome distractions, let's delve into another fundamental piece for maintaining a productive routine: breaking bad habits. Breaking bad habits starts with identifying the triggers that lead to these behaviors. These triggers can be emotional, like stress or boredom, or situational, like a place or time of day. Once you recognize these triggers, you can begin to replace them with more positive actions. For example, if you find that you tend to snack unhealthily when you're stressed, try replacing that impulse with a few minutes of meditation or a quick walk. Additionally, self-compassion is crucial during this process. Changing habits is challenging, and it's normal to have relapses. Instead of criticizing yourself, treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend in a similar situation. This not only alleviates the weight of change, but also encourages a spirit of persistence without guilt. Visualization of success is another powerful tool. Take some time to imagine yourself achieving your goals and living without the unwanted habit. How do you feel? What are you doing differently? Visualizing yourself as a person who has overcome bad habits can increase your motivation and make the final goal more tangible and achievable. Changing behaviors requires effort and patience, but every small step in the right direction is a victory. Start by identifying a habit you want to change today. What are the triggers associated with it? How can you treat yourself with compassion throughout this journey? Visualize your success and take the first step. After addressing the breaking of bad habits, a common barrier on the path to a more satisfying and productive life is self-doubt. Let's see how we can silence these internal uncertainties and strengthen our self-confidence. Self-doubt is an inner voice that we all face from time to time. It can arise as a whisper questioning our ability before an important presentation, or as a shadow following our most ambitious dreams. Recognizing this voice not as a fact, but as an internal construction is the first step to silencing it. Focusing on personal effort rather than results is an effective strategy to combat self-doubt. When we value the process and the progress we make, regardless of the final outcome, we begin to appreciate our own development. This teaches us to value the journey, not just the destination, and reduces the weight of unrealistic expectations. Negative visualization is a technique that may seem counterintuitive, but is extremely powerful. It involves imagining the worst possible scenario and mentally accepting it. This is not to discourage us, but to mentally prepare us for challenges and reduce the fear of the unknown. By practicing this technique, you may find that most of your worries are exaggerated and that you are more capable of handling adversities than you imagined. Silencing self-doubt also involves celebrating small achievements. Each task completed, each small progress is a testament to your potential and resilience. Allow yourself to feel proud of these achievements and use them as fuel to silence uncertainties. So next time self-doubt tries to lower your spirit, remember to recognize these thoughts as mere constructions. Focus on your continuous efforts and practice negative visualization to face your fears. With these tools, you are more than equipped to continue your journey with confidence and determination. Now that we have discussed how to silence self-doubt and strengthen our inner confidence, it is the perfect time to address another significant challenge: facing our fears. Understanding and overcoming fears not only frees us, but also empowers us to reach new heights in our lives. Fears, whether small or large, have a way of paralyzing us, making us hesitate before taking a step into the unknown. However, there are effective techniques that can help us not only face our fears, but also turn them into catalysts for growth. One of these techniques is gradual exposure. This method involves facing your fears in a controlled and progressive way. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking to a small group of friends and gradually increase the audience size. With each exposure, the fear tends to diminish and confidence takes its place. Another powerful approach is reframing fears as excitement. It's surprising how our body reacts similarly to anxiety and excitement. So when you feel that nervousness before a challenging event, tell yourself, "I'm excited." This simple shift in perspective can transform your energy from anxiety to positive anticipation. Additionally, it's essential to recognize that feeling fear is normal and human. True progress, however, occurs when we decide to act despite the fear. Facing directly what we fear with determination and courage not only diminishes the power of fear over us, but also teaches us valuable lessons about our resilience and capacity for overcoming. Finally, ask yourself, what fears have been holding me back? How can I apply gradual exposure or reframing to transform this fear into action? Remember, every step you take to face your fears is a step towards a freer and more fulfilling life. Continuing our journey to face fears and grow in resilience, it is crucial to address how physical and mental well-being are interconnected. The next step on this trajectory of self-development is to understand how conscious food choices can nourish both our body and mind. Nourishing the body with healthy foods is as essential as training the mind for positive thoughts. The quality of what we eat not only affects our physical health, it directly impacts our mental and emotional state. Therefore, choosing foods that benefit both body and mind is a decision that reflects in all areas of our life. One of the most transformative practices in this regard is mindful eating. This involves paying full attention to the act of eating, appreciating each bite, recognizing the flavors, textures, and aromas, and noticing how foods affect your body and sensations. This practice not only increases the pleasure of eating, but also helps regulate appetite, avoiding overeating and contributing to better digestion. Additionally, occasional abstinence or intermittent fasting has gained prominence as a way to improve health and mental clarity. This practice is not just about restricting calories, but about giving the body time to rest and regenerate. Many find in intermittent fasting a way to improve concentration, maintain stable energy levels, and even increase longevity. Therefore, when making conscious food choices, think about how each food can serve as fuel for your overall well-being. Introduce habits that promote both physical and mental health, and see how your body and mind respond positively to these changes. Now reflect. How can I be more mindful of my food choices? How can the practice of mindful eating be incorporated into my daily routine? How can I experiment and benefit from occasional abstinence in a healthy and sustainable way? After addressing the importance of nourishing body and mind, another crucial aspect of well-being is the social environment we immerse ourselves in. In this next segment, we will explore how to effectively deal with toxic influences and promote healthier relationships. Relationships play a fundamental role in our emotional and mental health. However, not all interactions are beneficial. Toxic influences, whether friendships, romantic relationships, or family connections, can drain our energy and negatively impact our well-being. Recognizing and distancing ourselves from these influences is essential for maintaining a balanced and healthy life. An important step in this process is the practice of forgiveness. Forgiving does not mean forgetting what happened, but freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. Forgiveness is a choice we make to move towards inner peace, allowing us to leave behind painful memories that could otherwise imprison us. Setting healthy boundaries is equally crucial. Boundaries are not barriers to keep people out, but guidelines that define how far we allow others to influence our lives. Learning to say no to demands or behaviors that exhaust us is a vital skill that protects our energy and self-esteem. Furthermore, cultivating healthy relationships is about seeking and maintaining connections that enrich and support us. Healthy relationships are those where there is mutual respect, support, and a balanced give and take. They contribute to our growth and make us feel valued and loved. Reflecting on your current relationships, ask yourself, which interactions have been more draining than enriching? How can I practice forgiveness to free myself from past hurts? What boundaries do I need to set to protect my peace and well-being? After discussing how to cultivate healthy relationships and rid ourselves of toxic influences, it is essential to consider the importance of pushing beyond our own comfort zone. This step is crucial for personal growth and reaching new heights in our journey of development. Stepping out of the comfort zone can be intimidating, but that's where true growth occurs. This involves embracing voluntary discomfort, a powerful strategy that challenges us to try new things and face challenges that, although frightening, promote significant and lasting development. One effective way to start is to focus on the process and not just the results. When we shift our focus to what we are learning and how we are growing, each step becomes an opportunity for development, regardless of the final outcome. This reduces the pressure to succeed and allows us to experiment and learn more freely and creatively. Voluntary discomfort also involves placing ourselves in situations that test our limits in ways we never considered before. This might mean taking on a challenging project at work, learning a new skill that seems difficult, or even changing aspects of our lifestyle that seem ingrained. These experiences, although initially uncomfortable, are incredibly enriching and expand our capacity to handle uncertainty and change. So reflect. What areas of my life have remained unchanged due to comfort? How can I introduce challenges that stimulate and encourage me to grow? What can I do today to take a step out of my comfort zone? Throughout this journey, we have explored the deepest corners of our mind and spirit, facing challenges that shape and define our character. Every step taken towards self-knowledge and self-transformation brings us closer to the person we aspire to be. But remember, the journey of self-improvement never ends. Each day offers a new opportunity to grow, to choose courage over comfort, and to face the mountain within us with determination and wisdom. So what will be the next step in your journey? Choose one of the principles we discussed today and implement it in your life this week. And don't stop there. Share your victories and challenges in the comments below. Together we can form a strong and united community dedicated to self-knowledge and continuous growth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventures. The real battle is you against yourself, and together we will win.